Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Anna.
We're the Hutchinsons.
We own Hutchinson Maple Products in Lake Paul, Nova Scotia, and we're the largest certified organic maple producers in the province of Nova Scotia.
For over 21 years on the road, running a successful trucking business, we've had quite a journey that has taken us home here to Hutchinson Acres.
This is our story.
Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Leanne, the sales manager with Hutchinson Maple Products. Today we're going to be making a maple granola. So to make the maple granola, it's super simple. I have all my dry ingredients pre-measured. The first thing you need is 3 cups of oats. I use just plain old regular oats. I wouldn't use the steel cut oats, but you could substitute for gluten-free if you prefer. So we put that into a bowl. And then your nuts. The recipe calls for 1 cup of walnuts. It says to use them whole, but I like to chop them. So 1 cup goes in there. And then we have a 1/2 cup of almonds. And again, I chop mine, but you can leave them whole. And 1/2 cup of coconut. 1/4 cup of sesame seeds. 2 tablespoons of flax. 1 cup of cranberries. I use the cranberries. The recipe calls for raisins, but I prefer dry cranberries. And the recipe says to put them in at the end. I prefer to cook them in the granola. I just find they get a little softer and the flavor goes through the granola. So add those in. And I also add a couple of teaspoons of cinnamon because I really like the flavor of cinnamon and oatmeal. So I'll just go ahead and add that. And you just mix your dry ingredients together, super easy. Get your cinnamon all nice and incorporated in there. And that's the dry ingredients. Next, we're gonna add the wet ingredients together, and I'm gonna take you over to my stove. So now we're gonna prepare the wet ingredients. Really easy, calls for 1/4 cup of oil. I use vegetable oil, but you can use any oil that you have. Next is 1/4 cup of honey. And a little trick, if you pour the honey into your measuring cup that already had the oil in it, it just slides right out. No scooping required. And the third and most important ingredient is Hutchinson's maple syrup. I like to buy the 2-liter because I use a lot of maple syrup, so it comes in handy. And it's more economical that way too. And 1/4 cup of maple syrup. And we're just gonna gently heat these 3 ingredients together just until it becomes warm, and then we're gonna add them to the dry ingredients. And it will just take a minute or 2 to do that. Maple granola is so easy to make at home, and it's so much more cost effective than buying a big bag that can cost anywhere from $5 to $10 depending, on the size or the brand. And probably within a 1/2 hour you can make your own, and it keeps really well. I just store it in mason jars, and it keeps for 1-2 weeks or longer. And there we have it. And we're just gonna add this to the dry ingredients now. So we're just gonna add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and mix them thoroughly. The reason you wanna heat the wet ingredients is so that they thin out a little bit and incorporate better into your dry ingredients. So we'll just go ahead and pour that in. All that yummy maple goodness. And we're just gonna thoroughly mix it. Get all your oats mixed up and all your nuts. And there. And now I'm just gonna add it to the pan. And I just have my sheet pan here. No reason to grease it. You can just put it on your pan as is. Spread it out. just kind of make sure it's in an even mixture on your pan so it cooks evenly. And just kind of pat it down, get in all your corners. And we're going to put this into the oven to bake now at 325 for 15 minutes. And it also states in the recipe that you should stir it after every 5 minutes, so a total of 3 times. And that's it. And here's the completed recipe, maple granola. To find the full recipe, go to hutchinsonacres.com. As well, you can find a complete list of retailers and how to order our products online.
Next week on Hutchinson Acres, the container has arrived in Saudi Arabia, but back home, a bigger order is underway.